Growth Show, where we dig into what makes a franchise not just functional, but formidable. And today's guest is one of the most powerful origin stories in home care space. Becky Wang is the founder of Butterfly Home Care, a mission driven franchise that specializes in compassionate care for seniors, people with disabilities, and individuals with autism. Her inspiration is deeply personal and it's reshaped how home care can and should be delivered. From Fortune 500 boardrooms to the front lines of caregiving, Becky has made a bold leap and she is now helping others to do the same through a franchise model that blends heart, innovation, and real business savvy. Becky, thanks for being on.
Oh, thank you, Jill. What an introduction. Thank
Oh,
you so
appreciate
much.
that. Appreciate that. So, to kick us off, if you don't mind, take us back a little bit. How did your experience as a mother caring for your son shape the birth of your brand, Butterfly Home Care?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you, Jill, and thanks everyone for listening to this podcast. And I'm so glad to be here. Uh, about 22 years ago, I have my son, Michael. He was a lovely baby, but I didn't know he had autism. But I just know at the beginning, as a new mom, I was a young mom. He was kind of hard. He doesn't sleep. He cries all the time. He doesn't speak as other children learn how to talk. But I had been worried. I talked to the doctor, and people say he's fine. He will be fine. But after a few years, actually, we got to know he had autism. At the beginning, I have no clue what autism is, but I just know my life is hard. It was very difficult. I never get any good sleep just because he doesn't sleep very well. So it was really hard. After a few years, I feel like I don't have energy. I'm working, but I'm also taking care of him. So I started to looking for help for people can coming into my house to help me or babysitting. But it's hard to find someone. My son started to jumping up and down when he was like 2 or 3. He's all over the place. You're chasing him. It's not easy. So I figured out I probably need to call some agencies and see if there's any good caregivers from agency. But none of them are able to stay. Some of them, I have people coming in for a day and they never show up. I even called them and said, I want to pay you. I also you left something at my home, but they never show up again. So it was hard. It's my experience finding a caregiver was extremely hard, and that's really where I started to thinking one day maybe I can do this, maybe I can help people. And I got to know a friend of mine who had a home care company, but she's a nurse. She doesn't know what to do with the business, but she wanted to take care of people. I said, maybe I can because I'm a businesswoman. I know how to do business. And also I have a son, really need help. So that's how I started 13 or about 13 years ago. So I joined my friend who already started the home care company, and we started the first kind of with yeah, the first part of my home care journey. After a few years, she retired, and then I started my own company from that point. So that's how we started from my son,
Yes.
like you said, from the bottom of my heart to taking care of my son, and then started to taking care of other people's.
That's like I said at the beginning, a fantastic origin story. I mean, there is no better mission to create a business and to create a lifestyle really for yourself than something that is that deeply personal. So we sincerely appreciate you sharing that story with us. You referenced a little bit that you had a very successful career at tech and business and all that kind of stuff before this. So what was that turning point that made you want to say, well, I'm not just going to do this kind of as a side thing, but leave this behind and pursue Butterfly as full time?
Yeah, that was hard because I had a really good job. I have my master degrees. I was an engineer. I was a business analyst, working with the Fortune 500 companies, and it was a great job. But it's hard for me to take care of my son. I'm kind of like I take care of my son and do all the housework after he go to bed. I clean up everything. I want everything to be perfect for the next day. Then I go to bed with my laptop from work and I work until 2 or 3 o'clock. And then the next day at 6 o'clock, I get up again, get myself ready, the kids ready, and my day is like that. I remember I have a lot of headaches. I often get migraines. It was really painful. It was not fun, but I'm a kind of person, I want to get things done. Even I was working with the corporate, I really work hard. I wanted my work to be done, and I'm always finished it before the due days, way before. So, but I realized one day, I feel like I think I can do something better, or I can help more people, help them more directly. And for example, I actually did a lot of other things before I started to do home care. But home care is so personal to me. My son really needed, and I can see people using our home care services, actually they get better. We have people graduated from the hospice, and we have people, they learned the independent living skills and they're doing better. People who had autism, they were not talking much, now they can have more communications. So that really motivated me to quit all the other things I was doing. So I said, this is it, I'm not going to do anything else. This is my passion. This, I have a mission to helping people, to transforming their life through our care. So that's a few years ago, I decided to not doing any other business I was doing, and quit the job like a few years back and just focusing on home care.
I love that. I love that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
Butterfly, it's not just a home care company, really. It's a mission-driven movement. So,
definitely.
obviously, you have a very personalized story that drives that for you. But talk to us a little bit about how your team embodies that day to day with the care that they provide to your patients or your clients.
That is such a wonderful question, Joe. I want to thank everyone in my team and everybody, all my clients, all my caregivers who are making this butterfly home care possible. I cannot do all. Without my team, without my caregivers, I cannot be I mean, we cannot be where we are today. And I we actually call our home care caregivers our heroes, because they are heroes. They are doing something a lot of people are afraid to do, and taking care of people. You sometimes, I even told them, sometimes some of the work they do I can't do personally. So I really admire what my caregiver is doing, and also my headquarter team who has been working so hard. Like in my team, I have people who are from actually graduate from law school, and they're so good. And they actually, our manager is actually the one graduate from law school. So he can be a great lawyer, but he loved to help people. That's one of the really, our mission really drawing the people who have the same mission, same passion about helping people. We also have a scientist, and her company, she used to build the train, some kind of like a high-speed train softwares or something like that. She has patents, but her company, some reason, her company closed. So she actually didn't look for a job. When she know us, she is working with us. So we have people join us because their personal stories. They have their own family member has disabilities, or just they are a wonderful person. They want to help people. They want to be in this industry to help more people to live better in their life and transforming their life through our care. So my team members working very hard. I have some people from California, Denver. So even we're not all in the same office in our headquarters, Virginia, but we have our weekly meetings, and we're helping our franchisees franchisees. We have their weekly meetings, individual meetings with our business coach. We also have our monthly meeting, our system meeting, which all of us, all the franchisees join together. We discuss and the new things and some of the changes, updates, and what everybody's business looks like to encouraging each other. We even do an hour of power for all our franchisees. We them to do so hour of power to us. I this is one of the standard I have for my franchisees. They have to do 1 hour at least to do to call their leads, to do their marketings, and that's how they're going to grow their business Monday to Friday. And then they're going to send the numbers to each other. They're going to have a accountability to usually it's the people coming on-site training with. It's another franchisee. So that way they know, oh, that franchisee did 10 calls today and talked to 5 people. Oh, I need to do better tomorrow. So it really helps them because people really need that encouragement and the motivation. When you are doing business by yourself, it is hard it's not like your boss say you're going to do these things by tomorrow. So now it's all up to you. So have someone you can compete. It's kind of a really good feeling and it really helps them with their business.
I love that. There's a lot in there to unpack that I definitely want to get to.
Sorry, just stop
Before we,
me if I
no,
said too much.
oh no, you could never possibly say too much. But to maybe dissect it just a little bit. Let's start at the top level, and then we can maybe go down a few layers. But
Sure. Yeah.
care, especially senior care, is a very up and coming and driven industry. I mean, everybody's going to get older. It is an inevitable thing. And
Yes.
at some point, we're all going to need some assistance,
Yes.
whether it's part time, full time, what have you. But within your specific brand, obviously you have a personal story, but why did you choose to specialize in autism and disabilities and a culturally responsive care? Was that a gap you saw in the industry, or why did you decide to kind of narrow in a little bit within that?
Yeah, so like I said earlier, with my story, my son's story, and it is very hard for young parents who have autism kids. I remember the early time when I just got to know my son have autism. I have no clue. I cries every day, and I feel like there's no hope. I trying to do all kind of treatment with him, and I remember I was traveling around the world doing stem cells, doing hyperbaric oxygen chamber, doing the bio medication treatment, all kind of whatever they say it can help. I will try it. I do everything I can, but I still, and he's still autistic. So it actually for the younger parents, it need a few years for them to really actually accept that this is the lifelong condition with that mental stress plus the physical work you're doing with. I remember my sister told me she was babysitting my son for a few days, and she used to be a teacher. She said taking care of my son for an hour, it's like working with 100 kids for a whole day. So it's that, I mean, maybe maybe not exactly, but that's how hard it can be. So we so the, and no, nobody want to do it because it's hard. So I feel like this is a need I need, and there are a lot of people like me, like my family, we will need. The needs are there, and it's really helping people. I remember before the COVID, we actually, a few moms like me, and we actually get together. We create a kind of like a nonprofit for helping parents who like us to drop off their kids to us. We have a church working with us, so they can just drop off we do it once a month, so they can just drop off them for one day, and we have volunteers helping watching the kids and play, and we have moon bounce. We do a lot of activity. I remember I see these parents. They coming in with their they look so tired, but after the whole day, they come back with their hair down. They seems like they have makeups. They did their nails. I just so happy to see that, and that's what we want. And even with that, that little just one day, we can make that change. Thinking about how much change we can made to this family, when if we can do every day, or we can do at least a few days a week, it's just life change for a lot of families, and for a lot of kids. We definitely think the needs are there, and we want to help them.
I love that. So you saw a need, you saw a gap. Obviously, you needed it yourself, right? And that
Yes,
was the creation and the birth of
exactly.
creating the company, right? Now, creating a company that you're going to own and operate and run yourself is a humongous step, but it's another step to take that and
Yes.
launch a franchise-ready brand. So,
Yes.
talk to us a little bit about some of those key steps that you took to systemize the business so that you can hand a playbook to someone else to go execute your strategy.
Yeah. So running a home care company, it's definitely not easy, and there's many steps, and you really need a good system to help to make everything smooth. If you miss one part of, like, for example, claim, you don't get money, then the cash flow is a problem. So we definitely want to make sure every piece is smooth. So a few years ago, I already started to building this. The system, and I from the software, from the process, and even the onboarding process. So I start to using checklists, and I start to training people. I found out there's another issue, which is the turnover. There's always people coming in and they quit, and I training someone and then they quit. So I just found out myself constantly training people. So with that, I figured out it will be a good idea to have the system. So I will have a system to training the people who are newly onboarding. So that's how I started. Initially, I was just want to do it for my headquarter business, but then I also realized there is more people. I started to have a waiting list for my business. I can't help all the people who need help. So that's actually what really started making me thinking how much I can help. I want to help people, but I can only do so much in this one location. And all in the same time, actually, there are people calling me say, Becky, I want to do a home care business. Can you teach me or coaching me? I said, sure, I can talk to you for a couple hours, but I don't know if that really helps you, because I mean, misleading you, because it's not that easy business. I can just tell you a couple hours and you got everything. So that's how I started thinking about franchise. And I thought, okay, so now I have my system. I'm building the system, and this system actually can easily be used by another business owner. They can just copy what we have and just go ahead and use it, and then they have their business, and that way can solve the problem. I don't have to have a waiting list, and people can go to my other franchisees, and also they can help more people. And this way, people need help get the help, and the caregiver, we can create more jobs, and there's more caregivers, and they can get paid, and they can have a great job. And then also I helping building a business for other entrepreneurs. A lot of people want to build their business, but they don't know how to do it. And home care is not easy. With our system, we can make it very easy for them. And with the passion, and with I'm being the founder, and I'm being the newer franchisor, there's a lot of advantage for our franchisees. They really get the coaching from me personally, and also we have other our business coaches also have a lot of experience in home care, so that we can really transforming everybody's life, our clients, our caregivers, and our franchisees, and it's just a win-win situation for everyone.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And I know I've been on many calls with clients who are interested in home care, but the assumption is a lot of times that that carries a high overhead. But in reality, your brand actually runs pretty lean. So, how does your model give franchisees both flexibility and margin to drive their cash flow and their profitability?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I do. People ask me that question a lot, and there are. It's it's not how hard to find people, it's how you're going to keep them. In our trainings, when our franchisee joining us, we have we have several hours. We're just talking about cultures. So a company's culture is very important, and that's how you can keep your employees, you can keep your caregivers. One thing we definitely asking all our franchisee to do is to find a way to appreciate their caregivers and promoting them to do good job and respect them, because they are the boom of the business of a home care business. And also with this is not a high pay job, just yeah, it's not like other jobs. They got a lot a higher hourly rate. This is a kind of like lower rate being a caregiver. However, our caregivers stay with us 10 years, and I have a caregiver probably with us 12, 13 years. And why is that? It's because he feel good. I think one of our longest is probably 13 years, and he liked to work with us. He's a part of the family with that clients he's taking care of. Well, before that, he was working with several other company. Everybody loves him, and he started with us when he was I think he had the computer science software engineer job. I mean, he was a software engineer, but he lost his job and he was between job. He said, "Oh, let's just give it a try," and then he never go back to the computer job again. He just become a caregiver, which is his pay is much lower, but he has been with us more than 13 years, and he's part of that family he has been taking care of. People like them, they believe believe transformation. That's why we called our company Butterfly Home Care. They believe transformations. He really make a huge in he really transformed that kid. That kid was a different kid when we know him, but now he's so much social with other people, talks more and go out more and like to play sports, and it's just so wonderful to see that kind of situation. So the way the culture that we created, the our franchisee created, it's why our caregiver will stay with us. Not just about the pay rate, it's about how they feel about working with us. And that's the culture I want all our franchisee to continue to carry.
That's fantastic. Culture builds a brand, and
Yes.
ultimately, when you do that, you can create a legacy that lives far beyond yourself. So that's amazing. And I
Exactly.
also know that you all have really infused technology, specifically AI, into a pretty human centered service, right? So, what role does tech play in improving care and operations with your brand?
Yes, so with AI everywhere now, so one thing we have to be also careful when we are using technology is because we are in the healthcare industrial, we have HIPAA laws. We can't before we know it's 100% safe, we can't just putting our clients' information in ChatGPT. That's definitely no. However, we do utilize AI for a lot of other things. For example, we can do schedulings. We can have the AI to helping. We have a software we're working with. This is one of the biggest home care software company. So they have all the HIPAAs, all the technologies with compliance with all the securities. So with their system, we can actually save time by reading our care plans. Like every day we have people go out, we have 100 people out to do cares to different people. Everybody writes notes, but we have to have someone reading the notes. But that's hard for office staff to reading everybody's notes every day. With the AI, we can actually do it much faster, and we can actually find out who is actually need more attention, who is going to be priority, and also with the schedulings, it's much better and efficient than human with scheduling and with putting the calendars together. We definitely also working with a company who can help with communication communication tool to helping the autistic kids how to communicate, and that comes with kind of like a small robotic, and then you can talk and practice, because the kids with autism, they probably doesn't want to talk with human, they probably doesn't like facial expressions, but they feel this robotic is more safe for them, and they actually talk to them and they press the buttons and it will say something, so they feel that's interesting. So we try to use different things to help our company to grow, and that's part of the beauty of the franchise. I always told our franchisee is this is we our headquarters is also a lab. So we're testing out a lot of things, and until we found out this is a good and it's safe and it's we proved it, then we roll out it to the system so everybody can use it. So they don't have we spend all the money, energy, and the testing in our headquarters, so our franchisee can focusing on their business. And once we had the good ones, and then they can start to use it and doing better services, improve their efficiencies and things like that. So we continually looking for more technologies, and whatever comes to our way, we will do the evaluation, continue to improve. And this seems like what the world are hiding, and we just definitely want to be part of that.
I love it. I love it. A tech stack and a brand creates the capability to scale at a much faster rate. So that's amazing. Now, I actually have a caregiver that takes care of my dad, right? He has dementia and Alzheimer's. So I'm very understanding from a client perspective, the person that's paying the bill, right? That quality and trust really with that caregiver is the most important thing. So, how do you maintain quality and trust while trying to also at the same time grow quickly and support multiple franchisees?
Definitely. So the training is one of the most important things when it comes to the quality of the service. We do our onboarding trainings. We have orientations, and we have a code of conduct. So all the things are already started since this we the caregiver our first day meeting with us, and sometimes they feel overwhelmed. We do have people actually decided to, I'm not going to do this, it's too much, but we rather know that before we actually sending them out and then figure out they messed up, and they our clients are the one to suffer. So we want to do all the things before we send them out the door. So they got a lot of trainings, and we call it a butterfly certificate. It's what we specially training all our caregivers. Not only the state's requirements, each state has their own requirements, how much training you have to do. Certain states say 40 hours, another state say 19 hours, but we have a certain amount of hours. We will be doing our training called a butterfly training certificates. So that is actually including a lot of code of conducts, not only how they are going to do things, how they are going to helping people taking a shower, cooking, or doing the housework, and also teaching, coaching the people with disability, but also what are the right thing to do. And there are certain things we have some of the young caregiver coming in. They doesn't know when the clients offer you food, should I eat or not? And there are certain things they don't know what to do. And when we had the code of conduct, we gave them a copy. And when they read it, they say, "Oh, that makes sense. I actually had a question about that." So that makes things very easy. That they got all the trainings. So when the situation happens in a client's home, so they know, oh, my office said I can't do that, or that I appreciate you offering the gift, but I can't take it because that's just part of the code of conduct. So we definitely do a lot of trainings, and also supervision. We have a supervisor. We go out to check their work, and we check their notes. And another thing is we always follow up with our client. We want to know if there's any feedbacks from the client, good or bad. We want to know, and we want to improve. We want to have honest feedback to helping us, helping our caregivers to improve. We will do the client and customer satisfaction survey. We also like I said earlier, I also encourage our caregivers to do better jobs by we have award. We have a butterfly award. We have our quarterly stars. So if they do good job, they got award and they will get a gift card from us. And we have holiday parties and they come and we will announce the award and they are even more motivated to do a good job. And we also show people who getting the award, what they did, why they getting these award and gift cards, and people will copy them, say, okay, that's the way to do. I want that next year. So that's also a part of our culture and how we can continue to improve our services while we're still quickly growing.
I love that. The butterfly award. I want to dive in on that one. Is there maybe a success story that you could share
Uh-huh.
for either a
Sure.
franchisee or a caregiver who just really did that?
I actually want to share this story. I actually have one of our employee got this award called the Butterfly Award. We gave it to people who did an exceptional job, especially transforming someone. That's one of the criteria when we gave the Butterfly Award. And this young gentleman, when he joined us, he is very humble person, and but we also have a family who are it's actually a family caregiver. This mom is just she has two children with disabilities. She's definitely overwhelmed and she doesn't get sleep and she's so tired and she's always angry. So she will be yelling to everyone. She will be writing emails like 3 page long every day. So our office people really we kind of like we feel sorry about her, but she also really bring a lot of stress to people around her. So this young employee we have, when he come to our, it was only the second month he worked with us, and so he scheduled a time to meeting with this mom. Say, hey, why don't you come to the office? I wanna offer you tea so we can chat. So he talked to her for about an hour for different things. And at beginning, I hear thing she was screaming and something doesn't seem like very happy with certain things, but then by the end I hear she was crying, and then but I at about an hour time, and I heard they were laughing. So I later I did a chat with this young gentleman. I said, "What did you do?" So he told me he listened to her, what challenges she had, and then also told her that we are here to help. And that mom said, "No, nobody can help. Nobody can help me." So this young man is a Christian. So he did say, God can help you. And we are also here to help you. That's why she started crying and she just melted down from there. And I never, she was angry again. I never see that long email coming through anymore. And she always come with the smile to the office. And if she need to talk to someone, and she will make appointment and she will come happily. So that's a transformation. And there's a lot of things they talk about during that meeting, but someone can transform someone like that, he definitely get that award.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Shout out to the man above
Yeah. His
for
name
that
is Gordon,
intervention.
so
Gordon, shout out to Gordon. Fantastic job. I know I've been there personally, as I mentioned a moment ago. Right, I have a caregiver that takes care of my father, who does unfortunately have a disease that is challenging to do day to day activities. And there's
exactly.
been more than one time period in which there was a frustration with a caregiver, but not really with the caregiver, with what was going on and his reaction to things, right? But I know, having been in those shoes, a lot of times all you want is just somebody to listen, and
Exactly.
then they to understand where you're coming from, because that level of like just compassion more than anything else creates the opportunity for true transformation. That's fantastic. Shout out to Gordon. So I know you are building a brand around integrity. We just mentioned compassion, gratitude. You're providing a lot of like awards and recognition to your team. How do those values shape your leadership?
Yeah, I feel like this is my because of my personal story about my son. Um, I I feel like this is my passion. I want to build this business to continue to transforming people's life. And I know I cannot do all. I can only be the person who continue to training the other people who have a similar passion like me. That way, this business can grow, and our passion, our mission can grow, and we have more franchisees. We can help more people in the community. So that's why I always believe that being a good leader, which you have to let other people also grow. You have to have the other team member to learn what you know and encourage them to be the leader as well. So that's how I has been training, coaching all my employees. And another story I would love to share is like I have a young girl who her name is Sawyer. She actually just graduated from a very good university. When we met her, she actually coming into the office interview for the administration job, but I already hired someone. She was a little bit late, but I like her resume. We still interview her. We said we have a DSP work. Basically, it's a caregiver job. So would you like to give a try? And then we may have other jobs available in the future in the office. Then you can, if you are doing well, and then maybe we can transfer you from that job to here. She agreed. So the first day she comes, and she was so nervous because she never did the caregiver job. She thought, what am I gonna do with the disability children? I'm still a child. I don't know what to do. So she actually cried. So then I have another coordinator in our office say, hey, Sawyer, deep breath and let's go out do a walk. So she go out with her, walk around the building a couple times, and just chatting, and then come back to the office and continue our training. And she actually is one of our best caregiver, probably. I know the little girl she take care of, just love her. The mom and the girl actually lost her dad a few years ago, but the mom and the girl really need someone like Sawyer, and Sawyer doing so well, and she really transforming that family's life. And in the same time, I really want her to come to our office to do some other work because we're growing. So I've started to coaching her how to do different things. And so she's still young, just a year or two graduated from college, but with working with us, I already see her leadership. It's growing, and she actually was in our training for our franchisees and giving some tips about how being the caregiver, sharing some stories and some techniques. I like to coaching young generations and to continue to do things like this. There's a lot of fancy stuff like AI technologies. It's great, but everybody need care, and we still need people in home care business. And I would love to helping young girls and boys and also franchisees. So if there are franchisees thinking about this, potential franchisees, they will be very happy when they join us because we're really helping them to build their business and also coaching them to be a good leader. And that's something I had been learned throughout my career. And I go to even like a Harvard business schools and to learn different things. And I never stop sharing anything. If I know something, I want to tell people. It's one of the benefits when potential franchisee working with a newer franchisor when the founder can still available to training. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And shout out to HBS, Harvard Business School. It's one of the best business schools out there.
Yeah.
Um, As we pivot and look forward now in the future, what's your vision for Butterfly over like the next 5 to 10 years? What's that legacy that you want to leave behind?
Yeah, so we want to continue to grow our franchise. Certainly, the more it's better. However, we do want to keep us a reasonable speed so that we can still have good training and coaching for all our franchisees. So the goal is probably around 10, 15 franchisees a year in the next few years, and we see how we can do that. We have a very strong team. We have three business coaches. We all have many years of experience in home care. They one of our franchise consultants, franchise business coach, also own his own. He was a franchisee of a brand for home care. He owned it for many years and then he sold it. So he had a lot of experience on his business as well. And the other person also has at least 6 years of experience in managing franchise, but also a lot of other experience in technology and helping us with the productions and stuff like that. So our team is ready to take more franchisees, and this is we it's a great time, and because there's just more seniors need help, and there's a lot of children with disability or young adult with disability, they need help. So this is a great time for people who are considering what business to do, and this is a great business.
Love that. I love that. So, your last question I have for you is for anyone out there who might be listening, whether it's or especially if really a parent or a caregiver who's feeling overwhelmed but is actually inspired by your story, what would you tell them about starting their own chapter?
Well, I always tell people, I actually tell my son, I have two children, one with the autism, the other one is just going to be 18 in a couple months. So I told him, I said, a lot of time people ask me this question, how did you become successful? What did you do make you success? I said, I'm not. A lot of people are smarter than me. A lot of people are working harder than me. But the one thing I did a little bit different, probably compare a lot of other people, are I take actions. I do not wait and think too much. I'm not saying that you should not think, but I don't overanalyze things. If I want to do something, I do it. If I fail, I already learned from my fail. I learned the most from my failures because I learned this not working. Why it's not working? Then the next time when I try it, it will work. Maybe I will fail again. But I always believe that if I take too much time thinking, I never do it. But if I already compared to some other people, they may be overthinking for, let's say, a year, but during that year, I already tried a 10 different way, maybe 20 different way to figure out the best way to do this thing. I'm already way ahead of other people. So this is what I teach my son, and I also want to share with everyone else, which taking your actions, think about it, but don't overthink. Take actions and get there, and then you will find out you will never regret what you did.
That's amazing. Yeah, there's no such thing as a failure. There's only such thing as a learning opportunity, and you never know if it's going to be a success or a learning opportunity until you try. So I love that. That was a fantastic thing. To our listeners, if you have been interested in any way, shape, or form in the caregiving space, this is a brand that is quickly scaling and is one that runs lean, has a very strong tech stack, and obviously a story that resonates behind it. So, Becky, thank you so much for being on for us and our listeners and sharing your story, the purpose behind your brand, and everything that you do to support your franchisees for success.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for listening.
Appreciate everybody. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we will catch you on the next episode.